Hello guys, welcome to another video. And I know I haven't made a video in a really long time, but that's because I don't really know what to do my videos on. But now I thought of an idea, and that is that I'm gonna make a video about the tomato hornworm, because I've had them for a very long time. And I could say like what I've learned from them, how their life stages all look. And I guess I'll begin with the tomato hornworm has 4 stages: egg, caterpillar, pupa, and adult. Now, I have 3 of the stages. I have caterpillar, pupa, and adult. I don't have adult. Never mind. I just have 2 stages of the life cycle. But I have learned a lot from the experiences. And I mean a lot. Like, first off, if you're ever gonna get tomato hornworms, just have a tomato plant or something. That'll make things a lot easier on you. You either have a tomato plant or tomato plants, or hornworm food, because besides that, it's difficult. Because if you don't have the hornworm food or the tomato plants, things are gonna get complicated. Also, you can do it with dandelion leaves. Oh yeah, I forgot about you can use dandelion leaves too. But then it gets complicated. Because then you have to give them a variety of all these types of food, like lettuce, or like carrots. Like, you have to really give them good variety for them to survive. But if you just have a tomato plant, or their food, the chow, or just like the dandelion plants, you're fine. No need to worry about it. No need to worry. And actually, I have raised some of them to adults, but it did not work very well. It was well, since I had them the last time, food was very limited, so they actually pupated way smaller. But they did come out right. They were moths, but they were smaller versions. They weren't huge ones. They were like medium size, I would say. But here's a thing that I didn't know when I first hatched adults. When you hatch adults, you're supposed to feed them hot nectar. That I didn't know. I did not know it was supposed to be warm. And to make the nectar, you just need water and sugar. And I learned that you could also use like a little bit of like flavoring to kind of make them smell it. Like maybe like a bit of fruit or banana, or maybe like a little drop of vanilla, I heard. And then they'll probably drink from there, but they have to have room to fly. Like right now, I have 7 hornworms. Most of them, I have some pupa already. And this time they're perfectly healthy. I have some pupa. 1 larva's left, but it's huge. And I have some that are going to pupate. Actually, I have one that just recently shedded its skin to a pupa. And they look really strange because they're actually soft. I can show you like how it would look like. Because they're actually really soft. When they just come out, they don't feel like tough like a pupa. But usually people say that you have to make hornworms bury themselves underground. But I don't do that. I like to keep an eye on them to see if they're okay. I just put them like in a little cup with a towel, so they could actually have space to shed, because the towel will help them gain grip. But
stop.
This one just hatched. it's kind of soft. The front part is soft, and the back part is kind of hard. Cause it just came out, so not fully a pupa.
Anthony, you've been praying.
Oh, what?
Really praying?
Yeah. This one just turned into a pupa. It's new.
Okay, my love. Make sure you don't grab this. Excuse me, Blair. It needs to be fresh, somewhere fresh.
What does?
My injection.
Oh.
Make sure you guys don't open this too much because it's almost gonna slip.
Oh. Back to the video. Yeah, it just hatched, so it's like very, like, it's soft from the front, and it's turning hard from the back. Very unique. If I were to describe it, let me see. Gotta describe it well. Well, it feels like
Viewfinder. Focus unlocked. Image. Double tap to focus.
A long, kind of, if you're touching a worm. I don't know if you ever touched a worm. And if you haven't, then I guess I would say the back part that's hard kind of feels like if you're touching some sort of plastic material. Kind of like that. But the front part feels like a caterpillar. And if you haven't touched that, then the closest I could possibly get to it is skin. It feels like skin. That's the one that just hatched. But I also have pupa. I mean, it's not an actual moth, but I also have actual pupa. Damn, this one, the one that just hatched is crazy. And then I have a real pupa that just hardened today. It hatched yesterday. I have two pupa actually. I have two of them. You have this one right here. Now they're big. I'm surprised, like, they're actually very big. If I were to describe what a pupa feels like, well, honestly, kind of looks like a tube. It's like a tube, and the texture, like very hard mud, kind of. Like, mud really hard, and it's like a tube with a point at the end, like at the back, and the front of it has like a little loop. And the loop kind of looks like a line, actual like sharp line that goes down from the head. That's where its mouth is. Now the good thing is, since like they're pupa now, they're not like as delicate. Like people think that they're very delicate, but I've raised them before. But it's just that I didn't know how to feed them right. That's what ruined it. No, and they don't need to go underground either. That's not necessary. And I supposedly, if you put them underground, there could be a chance that they'll either die or drown. Because if you put too little moisture, then they might dry up in there. If you put at least a bit of moisture, then they'll probably be fine. But dirt is also dangerous. You really have to make sure it's germ-free. Me, I already have the pupa. If one hatches, it could be next year because it's already turning cold. But when one does hatch, I'll show you the moth itself. And then I have this pupa, which is even bigger. This is most likely the female pupa, because it's a lot bigger than the other one. And yeah, it looks the same. Like a big tube with the back part having like a little point and the front part having the little loop that goes down. I didn't realize how hard it was explaining things. And the pupa are actually kind of heavy. They're not really light as you would expect. They actually have quite a bit of heaviness to them. Now, since people kind of keep them underground, they don't really get to look at the pupa themselves. But now I'm going to show you how a worm looks like when it's underground and it's shrinking to become a pupa. Because I have those too because they're not underground. So I could see other unique life stages. Let's see. Which one would be a good example? This one. Okay. This is how they would look like when they're underground. Like that. When they're in their little chamber, they look like this. And what happens is, let me see if I could describe that too. It's kind of like if you were touching, a lot of times they look like tubes. It looks like a tube, again, or like a worm actually. But if you have touched a caterpillar, it looks like a big version of a caterpillar, which there are really big ones. Or if you've touched a tomato hornworm, it looks like a tomato hornworm, but just very, like, it has really hard skin. That's mainly the only difference, and but it doesn't really move that much. And what happens is, I've seen it, once it's ready to come out of its old skin into a pupa, it starts rolling around, and the front of it splits open, and the pupa starts coming out like that. It's very unique how these things work if you really watch it. And now for the last stage. No, that I have. And guys, for the grand finale, here is the tomato hornworm. Not pupa, not about to become a caterpillar, or, what am I saying? Not about to become a pupa. It's still a caterpillar form, but it's huge. It's about to be a pupa though. But not yet, not to the point that, it's already starting to shrink. No, it's still a caterpillar. It's still soft. And that's how they look when they're big. And they eat a lot. And I mean a lot. Luckily, I actually have tomato plants, so I didn't have to deal with what I've dealt with last year, how they kept wanting to eat and I had to put a variety of food. Not the best experience. Especially when they start dying on you. Most of them did. So if you're gonna keep bugs, you might as well actually have the right equipment that they would need. But the moths, I had their cage, but I might have put it somewhere, I don't know where. But when they hatch, then I can show you guys the moths. Yeah, that's pretty much it about the tomato hornworm. But actually, when I hatched the moths last time, they actually make sounds when they fly. If I hatch one, I'm gonna try to record that too. But the crazy part, when a moth hatches from the pupa, when it hatches from the actual cocoon, the front part also splits, and it comes out like how it would come out when it's becoming a pupa. That's the unique part. They kind of come out the same way. Because when one of my moths hatched, I saw how the pupa was shaped, and it came out from the front area. And from there, it emerged and crawled up to pump its wings. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If I have any more content, I'll try to upload, but there isn't much around here. And I guess I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is. Goodbye for now.